Hey, what's up YouTube? On this video, we're going to talk about the child tax credit that's coming up. Some of the changes that they've made over the years and what's new for this year. We're going to talk a little bit about how much the child tax credit is, and then I'm going to share with you a couple of tips for what you should be doing with it. So if you have kids or you plan to have kids this year, you're going to want to watch this whole video. My name is Paris Clough, and this is Financial Self-Reliance. On this channel, we talk about the mindsets and the skill sets of the wealthy so that you can learn how to manage, protect, and grow your money. If that sounds like the kind of channel and the kind of community you want to be a part of, go ahead and watch this whole video, and if you like it, hit the like and subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the content that I produce. Okay, so what is the child tax credit? The child tax credit is something that we've had for many years, but there's some changes this year that are pretty significant. The child tax credit is a benefit given to the American taxpayer for each dependent child that they have, and last year was $2,000 per child. Also in the past, what they would do is that if you owed money to the IRS, they would take that credit and they would reduce the amount of money that you owed, and if you hit zero, that was it. You didn't get any money back. Even if the credit would have brought you into a positive, they didn't give you any money or make it refundable to you. They only took away what you owed from that child tax credit. So that's changed this year as well. The other thing that they've changed this year is that it's $3,000 per eligible child. So that's a 150% increase. But that's only for children ages 6 to 17, or those that are turning 17 in 2021. So if you have a child that's 5 or under, you're actually going to get $3,600 as a tax credit. Now, another thing that's different is how we'll receive this tax credit. So in March, the American Rescue Plan was signed into effect. And what that basically states is that each family that qualifies, and it's a qualification based on income, will receive the child tax credit as a monthly contribution, just like we've seen with the stimulus checks, starting in July, or they can wait and receive the whole tax credit on their tax return next year. And then if they owe money, they'll reduce what they owe by the child tax credit, and they've made it refundable. So let's say that you owed $5,000 and you had 3 kids. And let's say each one of your kids were like 8, 10, and 12. So you get $3,000 per kid. You owe $5,000, but you get $3,000 per kid. $3,000 times 3 is $9,000. So they're gonna take the $5,000 you owe, they're gonna add the $9,000 tax credit, and you're gonna get $4,000 back if you choose to get it on your tax return or as a tax return next year. If you don't choose to get it in a lump sum at the end of the year when you file your taxes, starting in July or next month, what they're gonna do is they're gonna take the child tax credit, so $3,000 for ages 6 to 17 and $3,600 for ages 0 to 5, and they're gonna divide that into a monthly payments, and they're gonna pay you from July through the end of the year, so 6 monthly payments or half, and then the rest of the half gets added onto your taxes for next year. So let's say, for example, you have one child and that child is 5 years old. Starting in July, if you elect to have the monthly contribution or the monthly deposit into your bank account, you're gonna get $300 a month for that child. If you have a child that's over 6 years old, up to 17 or turning 17 this year, you're gonna get $250 for that child each month for the next 6 months. And then you'll get the other or the second half of that money as your tax credit. So this might be that incentive you were looking for to have some kids. Now, if you have a child that's going to be born this year, this is going to be a great benefit to you on next year's tax return. So now that I've kind of explained what the child tax credit is, let me share with you who qualifies for the tax credit. So if you're a single parent and you have an adjusted gross income of $75,000 or less, you're gonna get the full child tax credit benefit. If you make $112,500 or less and you're the head of household, you're gonna get the full child tax credit. If you're a married couple filing your taxes jointly and your joint taxes on your adjusted gross income is less than $150,000, then you'll get the full tax credit. For individuals and couples that make more than those dollar amounts, the amount of tax credit you get phases out until you have zero. A couple of days ago, I got a letter in the mail from the IRS. And typically when I get a letter in the mail from the IRS, especially right after tax season, I get a little bit scared. However, this particular letter seemed to be good news because it shared with me that I'm eligible for a child tax credit or I'm potentially eligible for a child's tax credit. Now, as you remember, I have 5 kids. Unfortunately, 2 of them are over 17, so I have 3 kids that are 16, 14, and 8. So I'm gonna get this child tax credit times 3. Now, the purpose of the child tax credit is to give relief to American taxpayers for having children. There is an expense to having children. Children are wonderful, they're amazing. I love having my children. I wouldn't trade any of them for the world, but there's costs to go into having a child. And so this money should be used and is designed to be used to help make sure that you're taking care of those children. It's designed to make sure that you're taking care of your basic needs, to make sure that those children are cared for and taken care of, and that you're taken care of so that you can then in turn take care of those children. So this isn't extra money for you to go blow. This isn't extra money for you to go buy the yacht, buy the big car, buy the big TV, buy the new rims, buy the new subwoofers or the whatever. This is money for you to help sustain your life and help yourself get ahead and put yourself on a really strong path towards financial independence and financial freedom. So I have 3 children that qualify for this tax credit. That means that they're going to put about $750 a month into my bank account for the next 6 months. And then I'm going to get a credit on my taxes next year, which I really need. Now I'm in a different position than most people, but what I'm going to do with that $750 is that I'm going to put it in savings, and I'm going to put it in my investment accounts to help me get ahead financially and increase my investment portfolios. So what I highly recommend that you do is sit down and calculate how much money you're going to receive starting next month based on how many children you have. And you better know how many kids you have. So based on how many kids you have, multiply that by $250 for anybody that's 6 or older, and $300 for anybody that's 5 or younger, and take that dollar amount and figure out what that dollar amount is going to mean to you and to your family. Are you going to be able to finally put food on the table? Are you going to be able to finally pay your mortgage and pay your rent? Are you going to be able to finally get caught up on a few bills that you've been skipping? Whatever it is, take the time to calculate that and plan properly for that money. Is this money going to give you the opportunity to finally pay off some of those debts? Is this money going to finally give you that opportunity to build that emergency fund that you've always wanted? Are you going to be able to get the life insurance that you should have for in case anything happens to you, your children can be taken care of? What is this money going to do, and what are you going to do with this money? This money should be something that you use wisely. Is it going to help you begin to invest in your future, or maybe set up a college fund for your kids? What is this money going to do? Plan properly with this money. Don't throw it away. Don't buy something silly. Don't buy something crazy. I've already shared with you earlier some of the things that you could buy. Don't do that. Be wise with this money. Let this be an opportunity for you to change some of those old bad habits around money and begin to develop new good habits that serve you and help you become more financially free and more financially independent. The more that you learn how to be financially literate, the more self-reliant you can be in your own financial life. You don't want to have to depend on others for your support financially. So take time to calculate how much money you're going to receive and plan properly for what you're going to do with it so that you're self-reliant with your money and you don't have to depend on others. I hope that you're wise with your money as it comes in over the next 6 months. If you need help learning how to budget, learning how to keep track, learning how to stay in control of your cash flow, in the description below I have a link to a free 30-day challenge that you can take to help you get on track to really being able to manage your cash flow, your income and your expenses. Managing your money is a critical component to being able to be financially self-reliant and financially free. I also have a couple of links to some investment accounts like Webull, and if you take $100 and you open up a Webull account, you can get 2 free stocks. That's a great investment. I hope this video helps you understand a little bit more about the child tax credit and the differences between this year and last year and what you can do and how you can be wise with your money. I hope you have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.